On August 10th of this year, 16-year-old, 389-pound Drake Geiger was psyched for his first football practice at Omaha South High School. Drake's father, Scott Hoffman, says Drake seemed healthy when he dropped him off early for his 4 p.m. practice.
He was mad the day before that he didn't get a practice because his physical form wasn't signed. So I picked it up that day, dropped him off at 3, a little before because he had to turn it in, and I sat outside as he drank a bottle of water and walked in, and I said, have fun, be tough.
The high that day was 92 degrees, well below the 125-degree cutoff for canceling practice as dictated by the Nebraska School Activities Association. Around 20 minutes after practice started, Hoffman got the call Drake had collapsed. He was transported to the Nebraska Medical Center.
He was brought to the hospital, and they worked on him. He didn't pass till like 9:30 that night.
Since his passing, the Geiger family has been working to change the NSAA's heat-related guidelines, including a Change.org petition that has gained nearly 27,000 signatures. It was started by Erin Geiger, Drake's sister.
We can never get Drake back, but the most comforting thing that I could think of was to make a change so that no one else ever has to go through this and no other kids have to lose their life to playing a sport, something that they should be enjoying.
The petition asked the NSAA to lower the degree threshold to cancel practice, citing one study from the University of North Carolina's National Center for Catastrophic Sport Injury Research. According to the study, from 1995 to 2020, 51 high school football players in the U.S. died from heat stroke during football-related activity. The petition also calls for the association to better reflect the heating properties of synthetic or artificial turf, the grass-like substance that's used in sports facilities around the world, including Collin Field in Omaha, the outdoor facility where Drake practiced before he collapsed. University of Nebraska turf specialist Rock Goswan explains the difference between synthetic turf and natural grass.
Turf is usually considered to be a synthetic, sometimes with or without an infill, which is either crumb rubber or other materials. One is in an actively growing biological system, and the other is made of synthetic materials with minimal biology.
Goswan says synthetic turf has a variety of advantages, including being more durable and requiring less upkeep.
It does lend itself to use in areas that get a lot of traffic, a lot of play, heavy used sports fields and that sort of thing, or indoor facilities, because it's hard to grow natural turf without a light source.
One big disadvantage, its heating properties.
Generally, synthetic turf is going to be 35 to 55 degrees warmer than a natural grass field at the same ambient temperature.
Goswan says the record was set in Utah, where on a 98-degree day, a field of synthetic turf registered a temperature of 200 degrees. The petition says at the time of Drake's collapse, the temperature was 91 degrees with a heat index of 105 degrees. The wording in the petition concludes, factoring in synthetic turf, the temperature on the field therefore ranged from 145 to 175 degrees. Executive Director of the NSAA, Jay Bellar, says there haven't been any policy changes on heat guidelines since Drake's death, but notes the issue has become a priority on the national level.
And this is going to be our new campaign, I guess you would call it. We've had a campaign on concussions, and then it started at the federation level, moved down to our high schools. Then we went to heart, our AEDs, where we give out a lot of AEDs. Now we're moving to heat illness because we think that this is happened once too many times.
He says part of that campaign will be investing $900,000 into getting schools advanced thermometers that can differentiate between natural and synthetic fields. Additionally, he says a sports medicine subcommittee is looking into the issue and will have recommendations later this year.
I just think it's just like with the COVID crisis that we're going through right now, and I think we have to listen to the people that know more about it than we do, and put in best practices for our kids, because we know that the unfortunate realism to what we're talking about is terrible things can happen even when you're doing things right.
While Drake's family is encouraged by Beller's moves, they say they'll keep fighting for an actual policy change.
I knew nothing about what the specifics of the heat guidelines were, and then when you finally actually look at them, which all these people that are signing the petition are looking at, it's outrageous. It's not even common sense, in my opinion, to cancel practice at 120 degrees. That's Death Valley temperatures. We don't get that kind of, that's ridiculous.
Omaha South High School did not respond to a request for comment in time for air. For Nebraska Public Media News, I'm William Padmore.